The sim racing market leader Fanatec is bankrupt. It has run out of money and it is going to be taken over, saved from insolvency by Corsair, the same company that own Elgato. This is an incredible story in sim racing. It is the biggest story that has ever happened in sim racing because Fanatec, if you know anything about sim racing, are pretty much the go-to company, whether you're on PC, Xbox or PlayStation. And I'm going to let you know in this video exactly why we're here, what's going on, what you can expect as a Fanatec customer, and what this means for sim racing. Firstly, I want to say a big thank you to all of my supporters who have supported me all the way through. I've been the only person reporting on this story for months. I even flew over to Germany and interviewed the CEO, now the ex-CEO. He was dismissed. And you've all had my back. I'm just telling you the truth here. I only ever tell you the truth. And we are now at this incredible point where this is happening. So, wow. Corsair is taking over Fanatec. So the management board have issued the statement. They have pulled the trigger. And the reason we're here is because the ex-CEO Thomas Jackermeier, who founded the company over 25 years ago in Germany, the majority shareholder, at this moment in time, technically still the majority shareholder, basically was in the position where he'd taken Fanatec to the brink and they were unable to pay their bank loans. Fanatec had taken out a lot of loans for capital expenditure. They were investing in, creating new products, a new office, all these things in Germany, and they just over leveraged on debt equity and they couldn't pay back their loans. So the banks were giving them a little bit of rope and giving them some reorganization of the loans, saying you can pay us back a little bit later. Eventually, after I flew over to the interview, a couple of weeks later, they said, right, Thomas, we want you out. So they got rid of Thomas Jackermeier, CEO, and they brought in Andreas Ruff as a CEO and also a CRO, Chief Restructuring Officer. And he's been working very closely with the CFO, Matthias Koch. Now, there's been a massive scandal going on in sim racing and in Germany. There's been people who have not been honest with sim racers, trying to protect their investments or not lose their investments or present things one to the other. I'm going to tell you completely impartially because I do not have shares in Fanatec. I'm just an independent YouTuber and Fanatec customer. What's been going on? So Matthias Koch and Andreas Ruff have been trying to use bankruptcy laws to save Fanatec from defaulting on its loans because the cash flow hasn't been there. The EBITDA has been very negative and they basically needed to dip into the German restructuring laws that allows them to do certain things without involving the creditors. So the creditors are going to get diluted. So the creditors, the shareholders are all saying, hang on, this is not right. This is not really legal. We're going to get wiped out. It turns out that even some of my fellow YouTubers have been shareholders and lots of other retail investors as well have been doing a big campaign to try and say that Thomas Jackermeier should be allowed to come back in and save the company. And Thomas Jackermeier got 50 million euros of binding and non-binding commitments and presented it to the board in a last-ditch effort to say, look, you need to accept my financing to get Fanatec out of trouble. He also demanded that the new executive team were fired. Absolutely insane. Like I said, I've been covering this and, incredible twist. Today, we have the decision. The management board have said, no, Thomas Jackermeier, we are not going to your financing. We are going to invoke the Starug bankruptcy, German bankruptcy laws, similar to Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the US or administration scheme and arrangement in the UK. They're going to utilize these emergency measures because they say that Fanatec is on the verge of imminent insolvency. Like, this is really bad. Arguably, it's even worse than what I've been saying in my videos, but we are at this point now. So tomorrow, I'm recording this immediately. Tomorrow, Fanatec are going to go out to the capital markets and they are going to do all the stuff under the Starug German bankruptcy laws. So all of your existing shareholders are probably going to get essentially wiped or diluted. That includes Thomas Jackermeier. That includes any retail shareholders in Germany. That includes any YouTubers who also have shares as well. So they are all going to be kicking and screaming and doing anything they can to say this is illegal. The management of Fanatec are using these undoubtedly controversial measures to package the company and sell it to Corsair. Now, they are going to be under such scrutiny to be doing that correctly because it is an incredibly controversial measure, and the shareholders are going to lose out, and Corsair are going to get this at an absolute bargain if they can turn the business around. Because if Corsair can turn the business around, remember Corsair, I've got Corsair products sitting on my desk here, Stream Decks and all this kind of stuff. If Corsair, and in my PC, if Corsair can turn this around, they are going to be sitting on a company that could be worth €1 billion, just putting it out there. So they are going to make a lot of money. The shareholders of Corsair are going to make a lot of money. Now, I want to let you know the exact wording that's come out here, because if you're watching this channel, you're a fan of this channel, I owe it to you to be honest, impartial, because you guys and girls made this channel. Please share this video. Please share this one. Please let me know what you think in the comments, because everyone needs to know in sim racing. I'm going to explain what this means for us as customers. The management board entered into a term sheet to negotiate exclusively with US-based leaders in high-performance gear and systems for gamers, content creators, and PC enthusiasts Corsair on the restructuring of the company, concluding an open-ended and intensive examination of various offers from investors and after consultations with lending banks. So basically, the banks, the people providing the debt finance, had control here, not the people on the equity finance side. This represents a significant milestone in the sustainable reduction of the company's debt and creates a positive outlet for the company. As part of the process, the management has reviewed offers from various investors, including the efforts of the current main shareholder, that is Thomas Jackermeier, who I flew to Germany to interview when he was CEO. He's still the founder. He came up with €48 million of financing yesterday, which I ran you through, and that has been denied, to create their own viable concept. However, such a concept has not yet been successfully created. You can bet that Thomas Jackermeier is going to be pulling together absolutely everything he has got here. Fanatec is to be restructured in accordance with the German Act on the Stabilisation and Restructuring Framework for Companies Starug, what I told you about. Due to imminent insolvency, that's a requirement. You can only restructure if you're actually under imminent insolvency. As we saw in Thomas Jackermeier's letter that he sent me, I got a personal copy in English. He's actually questioning whether Fanatec is in an imminent insolvency. He doesn't believe that the trigger has been met to do that, so it's going to be very controversial. After completion of the due diligence, a signing of a binding agreement is expected for the end of May, which will promptly be filed with the restructuring court in Munich. So basically, within the month, this is all expected to be concluded. There is a data room open. There are people examining the documents. I've been getting emails from people all over the spectrum with an interest in this. There's been a lot of people interested in acquiring Fanatec. As part of the restructuring, Corsair will take over Fanatec in full and provide sufficient financial resources to stabilise the company without any external debt. Endor currently holds approximately 70 million of external bank debt. So basically, Corsair are going to pay back the loans. Corsair are going to be putting in at least 70 million euros to pay back the bank loans. So there won't be any external debt. You might want to let me know what you think in the comments there. Either they're not going to be using external debt to finance it, or they're going to wipe the external debt that Fanatec has. Part of the restructuring plan includes a partial waiver by the banks and a complete capital reduction, which would lead to current shareholders leaving the company without compensation and to end Fanatec delisting from the open market. That is the most controversial statement that I have read covering Fanatec. I've been covering Fanatec now for financially for 8 months, I believe. The trials and tribulations. The current shareholders are going to be wiped out. This is why you have been seeing weird stuff, sort of massive downvotes on the Fanatec Reddit, weird comments under my videos, weird comments on Facebook, weird YouTube videos presented as sort of like customer facing, but really it's about protecting own vested interests of people that are shareholders. This is why you've seen it, because they are going to lose everything, and that is the risk. None of these videos are financial advice. That's the risk you take by having shares. You get the upside if the business does well, but you can lose everything if the business, collapses or becomes insolvent, or is subject to some insolvency regulations like this. Throughout the partial waiver, the lenders are making a significant contribution to the continued viability of the company. So it sounds like actually the lenders are going to be taking a haircut on their loans. Fanatec will inform the capital markets and the public about the further progress of the process in accordance with legal requirements. What does it mean, Fanatec customers? I promised I'd tell you. I'm a Fanatec customer. I don't make money from Fanatec. I'm not a YouTuber that has Fanatec affiliate links in my description. I am independent here in terms of not having that relationship with Fanatec. Corsair buying this means that we're probably going to have more of, I would say, a Logitech Thrustmaster competitor in the new Fanatec. We're probably going to get the software updates. We're probably going to have that infrastructure that the products are going to continue to be supported. But I'm not convinced that we're going to have the super high-end stuff that Fanatec was doing. Fanatec, I've been using the €1,500 BMW M4 GT 3-wheel that goes in the real GT3 car that Valentino Rossi's been driving. They're also coming out with their Bentley wheel that has a rotatable screen, or the screen that doesn't rotate in it. I think that super high-end stuff is unlikely to continue. I think Corsair, I'm thinking it's way more B2C. I'm thinking we're going to see Fanatec, well, I just want to clarify that. I think we're going to see Fanatec go through, it's more likely to go through retail channels. Because at the moment, Fanatec don't go through retail channels. You have to buy directly through Fanatec, and that's where the majority of the issues have been. I really recommend you share this video. Please, please, please share it. Like, comment underneath it. Let people know. It's really important. But also have a look at my interview with Thomas Jackermeier. There'll be a card here for my interview with Thomas Jackermeier, who is the big protagonist here. I'm the only person to have ever interviewed him on this. And also I'm going to show you my analysis of the Thomas Jackermeier offer here, the 48 million offer. If you want to be super clued up, watch those two videos. And just remember to stay subscribed to this channel to get the full picture. This is crazy. I will see you very soon on this channel.